What's up everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Jason with JCS Reefing, and in this one we're going to go over some future plans we have with the 100-gallon reef tank. Now, like I said, this is going to be a quick little video on some plans I got with my 100-gallon reef tank. And if you are not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button along with that notification bell to stay up to date. Now, in my previous video, I actually talked a little bit about some of the issues. Of course, we all have issues over the many years of reef keeping, but one that I am starting to run into right now, which I just started, kind of to realize placing some new frags, was the placement of corals. I always knew was very important, but lately I've been starting to realize, after I placed these on this little area here, I've started to realize that it's really starts to come into play down the road. So as you can see, some of the corals that I've placed before are now starting to grow into one another. I have an Aquapora that's growing into a Monopora here, and I got a Monopora growing into a toadstool, and got a Setosa growing into zoanthids and all kinds of stuff. So you kind of get the gist of where I'm going, is that I would like to start adding or thinking about better placement of the corals in the tank. So my plan is to actually rescape the tank somewhat. The entire tank isn't going to be rescaped, but I am going to add some rock to this tank and incorporate that in with some of the Carib Sea shapes that I have here. So most of the tank is Carib Sea shaped rock with the arches kind of on both sides, and then I have some other older rock that I've had for many years, like this big pillar here, which will probably be taken out. But just to kind of give a background of the scape when I did it, I really wanted to leave most of the scape off the back wall, which that's awesome for flow. You get flow going around the tank, great. Since then, I've actually went bare bottom, so I do not have any sand. So flow, I can really kind of crank it up. And as you can see, I'm losing a lot of space between, this back wall. Now, I don't want to put rock right up against, obviously, the back wall. I still want to leave room for some circulation back there. But I do want to actually move this kind of whole thing back a little bit off of the overflow, but to be able to use some of this space so I can gain some space in the front. Now, in order to do that, I'm going to actually put some shelf rock back here and kind of incorporate that in with the shapes, the Carib Sea shapes that are in the tank already. So like I said, this pillar is probably going to come out. I'm going to probably put some shelf rock back here and kind of angle these to come out and give the tank some more depth. And actually slide some of this back towards the overflow. But since the overflow, obviously sticks off the back of the tank, probably a good 5 or 6 inches, I can still leave a little room off of the overflow, but that'll also still leave the scape off of the back wall, if that makes sense. So kind of move some of this back. This big frog spawn, my plan is to actually put that on a shelf piece and raise that actually up into the tank, which will kind of give, once again, it'll give it more depth. This will kind of be in the back, and also for the lights, that'll kind of be off, diagonally from the light, so it will not be, it shouldn't be getting completely pounded, but I'll just be sure to acclimate it to the light once I move it up in the tank, because it's starting to get pretty darn big. So moving that up might give me a little more space to let it grow out a little bit more. Now, as far as the scape, I have basically 24 inches deep by 20 inches tall by 48 inches long to work with. So to do that, I'm going to most likely go with Carib Sea shape rock or Carib Sea shelf rock. So if you're not familiar with Carib Sea, they have rock that basically looks, you know, like it has coralline algae on it, which I really want to stick with. Marco Rock makes some shelf rock, but it's, you know, white basically, base rock. So I think I'm going to go with the Carib Sea shelf rock. So once I get that in, I'll do another video on that, kind of talking a little bit about how I'm going to add it to the tank, what I'm going to do with it before I add it to the tank. So anyways, that's kind of the plan on the future, kind of to give me some more real estate, and it'll also let me do maybe hopefully some cool like little you know, lagoon areas here to kind of put some of the zoanthus in, and move some of the toadstools that I have in here, and just all in all just basically replace a lot of the corals so they'll have time to grow out many years from now, hopefully. So that's about it. I just wanted to put out a quick little video of some of the plans I got going on for it, and once that rock comes in, we'll take another peek at that. And if you all have any suggestions or thoughts on good or bad ideas that I got going, please feel free to drop a comment below. And as always, like, comment, subscribe, and happy reefing. Cheers.